Hello and welcome to this online learning course, all about how you can use the iPad to support remote teaching and learning in your school. Hello, my name is Chris McWilliam. I am the lead practitioner at Sefton Regional Training Centre, which is based at Kew Woods Primary School in Southport. We have been an RTC now for about 6 years. Apple Regional Training Centres deliver courses to build the skills and confidence of educators to use Apple technology inside and outside the classroom. We are a community who share best practices and inspire excellence through teaching with Apple technology. We are Sefton Apple Regional Training Centre. You can follow us on Twitter at SeftonRTC, or you can find out more information about the training centre or our courses at seftonrtc.weebly.com, or you can email us at seftonrtc@qwoods.com. Now the welcome and introductions are out of the way, we are now going to move on to today's course, which is all about creating engaging content. And then we're going to look at some of the accessibility features that could help pupils learning at home, and then some remote learning resources. If you have a learning platform, there's a really useful tool for very quickly uploading documents or images. So every iPad has the Files app, which looks like this. At the top, just above where it says Files, there's a little circle with 3 dots. If you tap on that, and then you can tap onto Scan Documents, it brings up your camera, and you'll notice that it automatically, no matter what you're pointing your camera at, eliminate background, recognize documents. So if I'm just going to take a photograph of this page, obviously I'm not going to publish this because of copyright law. This is just as an example. And then you just tap save, and it will automatically save your scanned document to where you would like it to be saved. You can, if you hold your finger down on the little thumbnail, it gives you some options. You can move it to a better location. So if you, for example, have Google Drive, you can save it onto Google Drive. I'd recommend renaming it. And then you can upload that to your learning platform, whether it's Google Classroom or another that you are using. But very quick, very easy to use. This next demonstration is something that I use an awful lot, and it is how to create instructional videos using Keynote. And it's actually what I've used to create this instructional video today. For those of you unfamiliar with Keynote, first of all, where have you been? Second of all, Keynote is a presentation app, basically similar to PowerPoint on Microsoft. PowerPoint files do open in Keynote quite nicely as well. So if you've got an existing PowerPoint that you wanted to narrate over the top of, you can open it into Keynote and then follow the steps that I'm going to show you now. So this is just a blank Keynote. I've just given it a quick title on how to create instructional videos using Keynote. So at the top of Keynote, you've got a number of options. You can play, you can edit, you can add things, and you can also share it with other people to collaborate. And then you have your other options like exporting it and things like that, which we'll look at in a moment. So if I've got a screen with some objects on and some text on, if I wanted to narrate over the top of that, you simply just tap on the add and then record audio. When you're ready to record, you tap record. Creating instructional videos using Keynote. So when you're happy with that, you can listen back to it. Creating instructional videos using Keynote. So if you've got some sound at the end that you want to edit, you can use the edit just to sort of crop off the end points and things like that. Okay, but when you're happy with it, tap on Insert and you'll see this button pop up. You can put that anywhere you want. I usually put it up in the corner, just out of the way. So I'm going to add a new page. And what you might do here is you might have a diagram or an image. So I'm just going to add an image. And then I'm going to put in another voice note. What can you see in this picture? Write down 15 adjectives to describe what you can see. So preview it, insert it, pop it on there. So you can do that with as many slides as you can. If you've got a, if you've got a PowerPoint already, you can just add a sound button onto each page. If you are exporting it, sharing it as a Keynote file, you can leave the sound buttons on the page. But what I tend to do is export the whole presentation as a video, and it will automatically play everything. Let me just show you how to do that. So along the top, in the top right hand corner, there's a circle with 3 dots, and export is the second option down. So we're going to export it as a movie. You can change the resolution and the frame rate and things like that. I'm just going to tap on export. And what it will do in the background is it will make a video. And then I could either share that directly to my learning platform, email it to a colleague, but I want to check it first. So I'm going to save the video to my camera roll. So if I go onto my camera roll now, and at the bottom there you can see all my outtakes, and then find the video that we've just saved. I'm just going to play that to see how it sounds. Creating instructional videos using Keynote. What can you see in this picture? Write down 15 adjectives to describe what you can see. So that looks and sounds good to me. So I could then go into my learning platform and upload that as an instructional video for the children to see. It's also really useful when if you're creating tutorials for staff members as well on how to use different things with all the new technology that has been thrust upon us. But that's definitely a tool that I would highly recommend. Another very effective way of using Keynote is to create interactive presentations. So whereas in the previous example we exported the Keynote presentation as a video, this time we're going to leave it as a Keynote file. So again, we've got our title screen with the voice clip that we recorded, and we've got our second screen with the voice clip that we recorded. We're now going to add onto that second screen a text box. So we're going to add, and then go along the options until you see text. I'm just going to type your adjectives below. Okay. I'm going to move that up a bit to the top corner. As you can see, the visibility isn't great, so I'm just going to edit the font. I'm going to choose an auto style, I think. Let's have one like that. So we've now got a box for pupils to type their answers into. If I add a new slide, I'm just going to add a blank page. You can also insert other things for the children to use. For example, if you added a basic shaping and put a simple sentence in there. The butterfly was resting. Okay, and now I'm going to pop a second one in. sleepily. Okay, so we've got the butterfly was resting sleepily. I might put an instruction at the top of the page. Okay, then I'll put my instruction in, so I'm going to add record audio. I would like you to reorder this sentence so that it begins with the fronted adverbial. The sentence is, the butterfly was resting sleepily. You can insert that. So you can make as many pages, many activities as you can. The beauty of it staying as a Keynote file is that the children will tap on the sound button. What can you see in this picture? Write down 15 adjectives to describe what you can see. Okay, so then they could double tap in the text box, and here they can start typing their adjectives. And so on. Okay, so again, that might eliminate a few barriers to some children who working at home would be less reluctant to do it if they had to write it by hand. And then you've also got other features as well that you could use for less able learners, like the voice, the speak to text options and things like that. With the second page that we created, I would like you to reorder this sentence so that it begins with the fronted adverbial. The sentence is, the butterfly was resting sleepily. Okay, so this will follow on from some teacher input. Then the children could tap on the objects, move them around. So we've now got sleepily, the butterfly was resting, and they can double tap on to edit the punctuation. So they'll need their comma. They'll notice there's a capital letter in the wrong place here. And then they'll need their full stop at the end. Okay, so once they've edited it, they will then have the option to export it back into your learning platform and hand it in. An extremely useful feature also is the screen recording feature, which I'm using to also create some demonstrations on this presentation. To access the screen recording feature, you simply swipe down from the top right hand corner and it should appear here. So it's like a circle with a dot in the middle. If it doesn't appear there, you just need to activate it by going into your settings on the left hand side, control center, and then you've got lots of things that you can move about. So as you can see, I've got screen recording in my control center. If it's not there, all you need to do, for example, alarm, you just tap plus and it'll add that item, and then when you swipe down from the right, it will appear there. So I'm currently recording. When you do bring it up, if you hold your finger down on, it gives you the option of where you're going to save it to. So if you've got some video features that you use, you might automatically save into that. Or at the bottom, important one, turn the microphone on and off. Okay, there's so many times I've recorded about 10 minutes of me waffling on. Listen to it back, it's totally silent because I haven't turned the microphone on. But as you can see here, the microphone is on, so that bodes well. So the screen recording feature is really good because it works alongside basically anything you've got on your screen at that time. So for example, I saw a really good piece of work or a worksheet that I wanted to draw attention to or annotate. I could use my camera, or I could use the scan documents feature, which I'm going to use now. So I'm going to open Files, the three dots at the top, scan documents, and I'm just going to scan this page again. Wait for it to recognise it. There we go. Okay, once I've got the document and I'm happy with it, I would then open it up, ready to talk about it. And then top right hand corner, screen recorder, and I could draw some attention to this. So this piece of work, this piece of writing explains all about how the lining on some shoes is created. We've been doing a lot of work on verbs at the moment. So I'm going to underline using my annotation tool. I'm going to highlight some of the verbs in this text. So the lining is sewn to the back of the shoe. Can you see how the shoe is starting to take shape? Okay, so you can annotate bits, you can draw attention to particular parts, like what is unique about this sentence? Well, it is a question, so we can annotate that. So anything you've got, that could have been a maths worksheet, that could have been a photograph, it could have been anything. Another good tool is if you bring up a blank page. For example, I've added a new note here, and you can, for example, for maths, if we were doing place value column addition, we can talk about that. So where would we start? And you can explain it step by step. So if we add the ones together, we've got 3 ones plus 7 ones equals 10 ones. 10 ones, we can exchange that for 110. So we end up with 0 ones and our extra 110. And again, we add the 10s, we got 60 plus 40 is 100, plus another 10 is 110. We can exchange the 100 for 100, and we've got our 10. And then if we add the hundreds together, 300 plus 200 plus 100 is 610. So as you are annotating things or highlighting errors, you can record yourself. So you've got really simple instructional videos. You can then upload them to wherever they need. In this section of the course, I will show you how to enable some of the built-in accessibility features that would enhance your pupils' online learning. There is a huge wealth of remote learning resources available. You can go to support.apple.com, and there's lots of guidance on there, or in particular preparing your school's Apple devices for remote learning. There's lots of App Store collections as well, so you go into the App Store, look in collections, they'll be grouped there. So there's Learn and Study from Home, and also Remote Learning for Institutions and Educators. And then also within the Apple Bookstore, there's a huge collection of remote learning resources there, so well worth taking a few minutes to have a good look through them. Also, Apple have an on-demand video learning series. If you go to apple.co/edulearning series to find out more. And finally, there's lots of remote learning support on the Apple Teacher Learning Center. So if you visit appleteacher.apple.com, and on there you will find resources to help you with pretty much anything you want to do with an iPad, and also gives you the opportunity to earn badges and earn your Apple Teacher status as well. Finally, I would like you to have a think, or maybe a discussion with some colleagues. How will you use some of these features that you've seen today to deliver remote teaching and support? In the link that is posted with this video, there's a discussion form. I would like you to just pop your ideas in there, and once we've got a good collection of ideas, I'll share that back out with everyone. Thank you very much for taking the time to participate in this online course. I hope what you have learned has been beneficial and will really improve the quality of the teaching and learning in these tricky times. But thank you very much.